Okay, so I'm doing an unusual video. One, because there's actually no footage on YouTube, which I guess probably because it wasn't broadcast, around around the U.S. or something. I don't know. And two, because I don't know how many people actually saw this, but it was on my TV. It was actually on Fox Sports or FS1. Um, and I caught the essentially the third, fourth, first overtime and second overtime of the Tulsa and Wyoming game. And in my opinion, that's this we're well, technically it's week one. Even though there's already been they call it a week zero for, but not everyone has it. Um, and this is like game of the year. Like this is like and it was an amazing game, and it sucks because I was gonna let the highlights play and I'm gonna talk over it. But there's nothing on YouTube. I don't know if I'm just, it's been 2 hours, oh, well, almost 2 hours since the game wrapped up. So I thought they would have had something. Someone would have had something by now. But the only thing I can find is the kicker missing a field goal in, I think it was the first overtime is what it was from. Might have been over or the end of the fourth. But this game was insane. It started out I forget. It was like 17-3 or something like that. Like Wyoming was down, I believe, like 10 or 14 points heading into half. And I was kind of just flipping through at that point. I was flipping through about four games. The Georgia game was over at half because that was 28-3 because Oregon just is terrible this year. There was another game, Arizona and San Diego. Just I don't know. I didn't find that one interesting. Then there was another game that was also a blowout, and I forget what it was. There was also they had Cincinnati and I don't remember since someone Cincinnati and someone too, and Cincinnati started to get back into that, and then they got blown out at the end because they kept getting flagged and they just did not know how to move the ball forward and kept going backwards, especially after that fumble. So I switched off of that game because it was like 34 or 30, maybe it was 34-17 at one point. And I kind of put all my focus into this game, into this Wyoming Tulsa game. Basically, like middle of the third quarter is when I really started to focus on it. And that's when Wyoming got back into this. And it wasn't just, boom, they're instantly back into this. They score a touchdown, then they hold them to a field goal, and then they, I think they went 3-and-out, I think. And then there was a drive where they pinned them deep. This oh no, sorry, that was the last drive. Sorry, I'm thinking fourth quarter. It must have been touchdown, held Tulsa to a field goal, and then it must have been another touchdown right away because it was tied up. It heading into the fourth. This game was tied up at I think it was 34 all. And that's when you knew. That's when you knew this game was special. So again, if there's a way to watch it on YouTube, watch the highlights, I recommend going and seeing it because I'm not going to do it justice talking about it. But there's just so many things that happen. Then we get into the fourth quarter, and they're basically trading blows. It's blow after blow after blow after blow. They're stopping each other, field goals. I don't. Was there a touch? There might have been a touchdown in there. No, I don't think there was. I think it. No, it was 31 because there was two overtimes. It was no, sorry, it was. Yeah, it was 31 all at the end of the fourth quarter. So yeah, there was no. I don't think there was a touchdown in the fourth quarter here, or maybe I'm thinking there's so many events playing in my head all at once that I can't remember when they all happened. Because I remember the long touchdown. It was a 3-play, 80. I think it was an 81-yard drive, or it's maybe a 71-yard drive in 3 plays. And it was the corner. The corner came up, bit on the out route, and they had no safety help in the back. And so this guy just took it 57 yards or something like that. So there was that play to help tie it up. I think again they went back and forth. And again, I don't think there was a touchdown in the fourth quarter. But then we get to the end of the fourth quarter. Again, all tied up still. Field goals have been traded at that point, and that's when it was 31-31. And I'm sitting there, watching. There's 2 minutes left. We're inside the 2 minutes. Obviously, there's no 2 minute warning in college. And Wyoming is driving. They get inside the 10, uh, and then they fumble the ball. And they had this cool little thing, which again, I don't watch college football every single Saturday. I don't watch every single game. But they went to a flashback to the same thing. Basically, this was over in Tulsa. Obviously, this year it's in Wyoming. So 2 years ago in Tulsa, there was a fumble, same exact side, essentially the same spot by Wyoming. I believe it was both times by Wyoming. And Tulsa ended up winning that game in 2019. And so the commentators brought it up. They showed the video package of that, and you're thinking, okay, well Tulsa has this in the bag. There was, I think it was a minute 7 on the clock, and they do a little short pass. Again, they're inside the 10. Maybe they're inside the 5. They were right around the 5-yard line where they started with it. And then they get up to about the 15, and they kind of take like a deeper shot. It was over the middle, and then I remember his name was Stokes, and I wonder if he's related to Eric Stokes on the Packers. I'm gonna have to look that up. And he shakes off a tackler, starts running, and you think, okay, this is it. Like, they're gonna get in a field goal range. They have timeouts left. And he shakes off a guy on his left, and all of a sudden on his right, you just see, bam! And he just gets smacked from basically the side. It wasn't really behind, it was from the side. Pops the ball loose, and then and Wyoming got the ball back with about, I think it was 30 seconds. And so they essentially decide, you know what, we don't want to fumble, we don't want to take shots. So they go from the 50 to probably about the 30-yard line. Managed to get up there with, about 5 seconds left on the clock. And the kicker hits the top of the goalpost on the right-hand side. The right goalpost is what he hits. So we're going in overtime at this point, which, again, it reminded me of, I forget. I think it was a Packers game. I think that happened in the Packers game. The very top of the field goal post got hit. And I think it was a Packers. It happened recently, like in the past 2-3 years in the NFL, and it made me think back to that, but I can't remember who did it. But anyway, so then we go into OT, and obviously, for me, because I'm so used to, a 15-minute quarter, and, that's it. It's obviously different in the NFL than it is college. So obviously they have the rules on the screen explaining that, hey, both get a possession, and then, whatever happens. So, Tulsa started a drive because they had the ball first in overtime, and then then they got stalled, kicked the field goal, and they were raving about this kicker for Tulsa. I guess he was like one of the best kickers last year or something like that. They were really raving about him. He's going to come into play later on. And so they're thinking, okay, well, Wyoming's got all this momentum. Here's their shot to go in and win the game. And Tulsa's defense steps up big, holds them to a field goal. We tied. We're tied, and we're going into double overtime here now. So then we get into double overtime. Obviously, another thing again is they switch. So Tulsa started first in the first overtime. Wyoming starts first in the second overtime. So I don't think in the playoff NFL, if it goes to, I don't think they switch. I have not seen a double overtime playoff NFL game in a while, so there's not very many of them, obviously, because it's the only time of the year where you actually, need a winner. So Wyoming starts with the ball, and they struggle, and eventually decide, going to kick the field goal, and let it be, and then put the defense out there and let them do their thing. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, Wyoming looked like they had it in the bag heading into the fourth or heading into overtime. They ended the fourth quarter amazingly. Just if they could have got that touchdown, could have got a touchdown instead of having to kick a field goal, but there wasn't a lot of time on the clock. So then the missed field goal too. Then this is the second overtime where we kind of switched to Tulsa has momentum here. Has a little momentum here, and I'm thinking, okay, is this Wyoming defense going to be able to, like, hold them off and whatnot? Because obviously, again, it wasn't a torch play, but, the guy got open over the middle. But again, defense was able to cause the fumble in the end of the fourth. So it's like, okay, well, you got to watch the middle of the field and see what happens. But Wyoming was able to shut them down. I think they got to, so I believe it was between the 20 and, or 15 and 20 yard line, somewhere around there. Because it was about a 30-yard kick is what it was. And I think, was he in the middle or the left hash? One of the two. And he missed it. Again, they were just raving about him in the first overtime after he made the kick, which at that point was to go ahead to go, 34-31 in the first overtime, and they were just raving about him. And so, of course, Karma comes back, bites him. He technically, it's like a double ice technically because they had a player down. Wyoming had a player down, so that took up some time. And the whole time they're talking, hey, like, this is basically icing the kicker. And then Wyoming took another timeout after that, so it was basically like a double icing the kicker. So this kicker had about, 3, 4, 5 minutes to think about what was going to happen, get in his own head and, psych himself out. And that's exactly what happened, again, because he missed it. Not exactly a chip shot, because, again, it was like 30-some yards. But again, I recommend going, if you can find these highlights, if you're watching maybe in a week in the future or something like that, find these highlights because this was a very fun game. It started out, again, it was like, I wonder if I can pull that up here. I wonder if I can find the stats. Let's see here. Oh no! It was only 20 to 17. Never mind. I thought they were a little farther apart. Well, I guess it was 13-17 at one point, but again, they put up 17 points. Tulsa put up 17 points in the second. Just what a game! Just really what a game that was. That's it's game of the year contender already. We're week 1. And this is, in my opinion, a game of the year contender. So much had happened. I guess it was closer than I thought. I swear it was a little, or not as close, but I guess oh, maybe Wyoming had a 17-3 lead. No, because Tulsa was, because they're winning at into the third quarter. So, I don't know. I don't remember. I wish I could find the highlights. For now, though, again, just a little bit different of a video. I want to do something on this just because I'm still thinking about, we're again, an hour and a half after the game here, and I'm still thinking about it just because it was that good of a game. So I'll probably be thinking about it all night and into tomorrow, but that was an extremely fun game. And again, I just want to do something different, just kind of put out a little video on it. Because why not? Why not have a little fun? So for now, like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe. This is not going to be a normal thing. I promise you it's not. Again, I don't watch a ton of college football, but I just ended up finding this one because this one was close. A lot of blowouts. And those aren't fun to watch at all. So if I find another game like this during the season, I might make another video on it. But don't expect this. So again, I'm out of here. Peace.